So Ravens flock, it is the final day of the NFL draft. Everything has concluded. The draft is officially over, and it was a very busy day for the Ravens. We made about 8 picks today, so I was hoping we would trade up in the draft. Of course, I've said this several times, but that's not what happened. We ended up picking all 11 picks like I figured we would. Even though I was hoping a change would happen, the change didn't happen. We made all 11 picks, and I wanted to real quick look at the final picks that we made on day 3 of the draft, as well as some undrafted free agents. So starting the day off, we picked Teddye Buchanan in the 4th round with the 129th pick. He comes from the University of California. He plays linebacker, 6'3", 230 pounds, 5 sacks. He has about 114 tackles this past season, 2 forced fumbles. In the combine, he ran like a 4.6 40-yard dash. He was fairly productive in his college years. He had 8 picks, 14 pass breakups, 14 forced fumbles, 11 pressures. It seems like his number one calling card is definitely that he's somebody that could be useful in his time to blitz. He seems very comfortable and confident when it's time to do that. Some people may be a little concerned that he may not be as big as they would like or as heavy as they would like, but I really don't think that's going to matter at all, to be honest with you. And from there, I think the Ravens' thought process when it comes to drafting him is simply just wanting somebody who they believe can be a playmaker. Again, when you look at his production in college, this is a guy who shown that he could be very useful when it's time to blitz. He's shown that he could be somebody that can get pressure, get sacks, get some turnovers, like make some plays. And hopefully he can actually be somebody capable of starting. We'll see if he is or if he isn't. We'll see. At this point in the draft, because it's day 3, nobody in this video is guaranteed to really even get close to being a starter. Maybe there's one person, hopefully, with all the picks we made, there's at least 2 or 3 guys who end up shocking all of us and becoming the future cornerstones of our team, but time will tell. With the next picks, at pick 141 in the 5th round, the Ravens selected Carson, Vinson, who's the outside tackle for Alabama A&M. He's a massive dude, 6'7", 314. He's long. I don't think he's going to be somebody that's going to make a big difference right now, but I do think that he should be able to make the roster. We don't have depth at tackle, so it's exciting to see that we are going to bring in somebody who has the potential that he has, because like many people have said in years past, but this is typically a basketball statement, but in basketball, when you have somebody beyond a certain height, the number one thing people will always be very quick to say is, you can't teach 6'11", you can't teach 7 feet or whatever. I think the same applies to somebody like Carson at 6'7" with long arms, one of the longest arms out of any tackle that measured in the combine. You can't teach that. And then also, even when he was at Alabama A&M, he was a very solid left tackle. So I'm excited to see if he's able to get a starting roster spot. In the past 2 years, he's only allowed 25 pressures and only 5 sacks, which is not too bad, especially for somebody who is considered to be more of a developmental tackle, somebody who maybe we can develop in the next 2 to 3 years to be a starter, or at the very least a very solid and reliable backup. People are concerned about him playing bad competition, but thankfully he's not somebody we have to thrust into the starting role right now. So whether he played bad competition or not, it's irrelevant. But he played enough competition to where it's like, okay, he should be fine, especially if he gets somebody like Warhop to train him and develop him, and everybody who's affiliated with the coaching staff, the offensive line coaching staff. I'm assuming they should be able to make good use of him, but we don't know for sure. Only time will tell, but I think he has a decent shot, so I'm pretty interested about that. I'm not going to say excited, but I'm interested to see what comes from that. At pick 178, we picked cornerback Bihlal Kone from Western Michigan. He had 20 pass breakups in 2023. He's a 5th-year player, so he's a part of, because this draft class is also one of the last drafts we're going to see from people who went into college during the whole pandemic year. So he's a 5th-year player. He spent some time at community college playing before he got a shot at Western Michigan. He's somebody who excels in coverage. I don't know if he'll make the roster or not. We have a lot of corners, so I mean, we'll see. I mean, I wish him the best of luck as he fights for a spot. This next guy, though, I think is probably going to be the starting kicker, but we'll see. And this pick number 186, which is Tyler Loop, which is a kicker from Arizona. On his career, he has an average of about 85%. So, pretty solid, This past season, he was only 78%, but again, overall, he was at 85% for his career. He has a big leg, a relatively big leg. Like, he has a long of 62 yards coming out of college. I do believe that this is clearly a sign that the Ravens will, or at least they should be, letting go of Justin Tucker after this season. Not even after the season. Really, Justin should have already been cut, if we're being honest. As much as legendary as his career has been, with him falling off as a player, combined with the controversies he's dealing with, he should have been cut already. So I'm assuming Tyler will probably make the roster. Either that or they'll pick up somebody in free agency, but we'll see. So somebody like that, there's not much to say about it. All you can say is it's time. Only time will tell if he's good enough to be the successor or if we need to look at somebody else. At pick 203, we picked up a wide receiver. His name is LaJohntay Western out of Colorado. He was actually a transfer. He initially played for FAU, and he's been pretty much productive everywhere he's gone. He's had an 1,100-yard season, 900-yard season. Like, he's put up numbers pretty much. He's put up numbers almost his entire career, essentially. He's a fifth-year player, so another guy who got started during 2020, but he's coming into the league now. He ran a 4.4 640, but in my opinion, he seemed a little faster than that when you watch his game speed, but I don't know. But to go back to how productive he was in college, I mean, he had 31 touchdowns in his collegiate career, and he seemed extremely special when it comes. I don't want to say extremely, but he seemed very valuable when it comes to his potential as a special teams guy. So I'm assuming that's the main reason they brought LaJohntay in, is the hope that maybe he could be our future returner and make some plays. So we'll see. He also seems like somebody who was capable of ran some pretty solid routes. So maybe they have long-term plans of developing him into a receiver who actually gets on the offensive side of the ball too. But we'll see how that goes. At pick 210, they picked Aeneas Peebles. I don't know if it's Aeneas or Aeneas, but they picked Aeneas Peebles, the defensive tackle out of Virginia Tech. He's a guy who has a high motor. Some people would consider him smaller at 290, but in my opinion, that's not that small at all. Again, we have to remember Aaron Donald. Like, how much did Aaron Donald weigh? Like 285 or something? But I understand that he's not Aaron Donald, but at the same time, 290 in this day and age is not really that small for a defensive tackle, especially one like Aeneas. He was very productive in college, got 12 sacks. He's also a fifth-year senior. He originally played for Duke before he came to Virginia Tech. He's a guy who, I'm not going to say he has a whole lot of moves, but at the very least, the moves that he had, I thought he looked pretty comfortable and confident doing it and pulling it off, like the spin move. Like, he seemed to make it look pretty effortless. So I'm interested to see if he can earn a starting spot, especially because we lost Michael Pierce this offseason. He retired. We're not bringing back Travis Jones. So there's the defensive tackle room, the interior defensive line is going to be very thin by next season. So hopefully Aeneas can actually play at a high enough level to get in where he fits in and get on the starting role. I don't want to say get in a starting role, but at the very least, maybe he could become a valuable rotational player. So at pick 212, we picked Robert Longerbeam, who's a cornerback out of Rutgers. He had 5 interceptions in college, 5 forced fumbles, 33 pass breakups. Not much I can really take from it. It is what it is. Hopefully he's decent. I don't know. Now, pick 243, which is our final pick in the draft. In the 7th round, we picked Garrett Dellinger. And this is actually a draft pick I was extremely excited about because this is actually one of the guys that that I mocked us going to. Like when I did my mock drafts, I wanted to pick him up in like the 4th or 5th round. I think he has some potential. It's still yet to be seen if he'll actually make the team or not, but it would be nice if he did, because again, we need depth on the offensive line and we just need solid starting guards. So I would like to see what he could do. He comes from LSU. He's 6'4", 325. He's a former 4-star recruit. He has some flexibility because he played guard and he even played a few games at tackle, that he even played one game at center. So maybe he's somebody who's open to playing along the offensive line. We all know the Ravens really prefer guys who are very flexible with where they can go on the offensive line, like Pat McCary. Now, one thing I do like is that since he was at LSU, nobody has to really question if he's somebody who can handle playing elite competition. He was on the same offensive line with Will Campbell, who was like the 4th overall pick in this draft. So he's used to playing alongside elite talent as well as playing against it. And also one of his teammates was another guy we drafted, which was Emory Jones Jr. So I'm excited to see if he's capable of making something happen and getting on this roster. Another thing to note about that LSU team is that they were nominated for Offensive Line of the Year. So again, I don't know if he'll be a starter in year 1, but at the very least, I think he, as well as Emory, can compete. So I'm excited to see where that goes. We also had some undrafted free agents. I've done no research about some of these guys, so there's not much I can say. We picked up Jason Jones, who's a defensive lineman from Auburn. We picked up Desmond Igbo. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. Desmond I from Rutgers. He's a DB. We picked up Chandler Martin, who played at Memphis. We picked up Jay Higgins. That's somebody that I do know. He played at Iowa. We picked up Son Toe out of Monmouth. Like some of these names are kind of throwing me off here, but we also picked up an offensive lineman named Gerard Litchin, a defensive end from Temple named DeJuan Black. We picked up Duluth, somebody from Minnesota, Duluth, who's a tight end named Sam Pitts. And we all know that even though as a team we struggle at certain positions, we usually don't struggle much at tight end. So you never know. That guy, Sam Pitts, might be better than we all expect him to be. We picked up another DB from Illinois State named Keandre Jackson. We also picked up Marcus Major Jr. from Minnesota. We also picked up a tackle named Reed Holsky from Miami. And then also we picked up, well, actually that's not confirmed, but that's who we're speculated to pick up right now. And we also picked up another linebacker named Echan. Again, these are very tough names to try to pronounce, but it looks like it's pronounced Anchabanu Fortabo out of Towson. So most of these guys are going to be camp bodies, but we'll see. Let me know what your thoughts are on day 3. Is there anybody from day 3 that you're really excited to see? Do you think will get on the field and be able to make some noise? Or do you think that most of these guys will kind of be here today, going tomorrow?